everyone, thank you so much for joining me again today. I'm going to be using this adorable album as a memory keeping album, or you can use it for just memories in general, but it's a really simple album and I've done a simple cover. You're more than welcome to do chipboard or whatever you want to do, but I love to do simple projects. And you open it, and I have a really fun technique to do this, and you can add like your photos right here. You'll have a little top pocket right here option. And then I love this because it's just this little loose edging right here, and you could, place some memories in here or your photo. And this is also another option for a little cutout, and it just adds a little interest to your album. And I've added a piece of vellum and just decorated it. And then again, I have another top pocket here, and I just love these little embellishments right here to use. And then, excuse the markers on my hand, but and then here's another little back pocket, and you can always add little more pockets if you need more tuck-ins and things like that. All right, so let's get started. It is a little dreary out, so I've got some lighting issues going on here today. All right, so let's start with the simple cover, okay? So our cover is going to be a 4.5 by 9-inch sheet of paper, and it's pretty simple. I've done a previous album, these measurements. We're just gonna score it at 3.5 and 5.5. Now I've given a lot of extra wiggle room here because I feel like these pages can be really full and want to have room for all that. So at the 9-inch score, we're gonna score it at 3.5 and 5.5. So we've got a really large spine here with lots of room. So I'm just going to go ahead and just press that down. And you can see how big our little binding is going to be right here. All right, the pages are really simple to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab two 4.5 by 12-inch papers. And we're going to score them exactly the same, okay? So I will start with the first one here. And we're going to start at the 12-inch score, and we're going to score it at 3.5, 4, 7.5, and 11 inches. So 3.5, 4, 7.5, and 11. And you'll see how I'm kind of forming this after I fold it. Okay, so this is kind of printed and rainy, so let me show you what I did here. And again, do that with 2 sheets of paper. So when I show you my fold lines, you'll see how this looks. So it's going to kind of start off like this. And then we're going to have another fold, and we're going to go back. So it's going to have this little book, and then we're going to go back, and then we're going to fold this on the top. So this is going to give us that little book, the little pocket, and then this is our little flap that's going to hang out. So the reason why we do this twice is you can actually do this twice, or you can do the second option, which is the pocket in the back. So I'm just going to do a little thumb notch here, and I'm going to glue this down. Glue that pocket down. So let me just, you're just going to do this part right here in the bottom. So it should look like this by the time you're done folding it. Trying to get this lighting for you guys. All right, so that is the first section right there. So all we're gonna do now is glue this, or you can tape it onto your album right here. So just to make this quick, I'm gonna go ahead and just glue this on. Sometimes I just tape it, and you can really place it anywhere because again, we have so much wiggle room, you see here. And just make sure it's straight. I usually just give a little bit of space right in the front. And make sure it's even. And that's going to be your first page right there. your pocket, and this is going to be that little flap with the flowers that we're going to decorate. So I'm going to do that now before I get the other page in the way. Let me just grab some of my embellishments. So I'm just going to take my little die pack here and just kind of just pick some as I go and see how it looks. The flowers just make everything so beautiful, so it's too easy to do this. I'm going to go ahead and start with this. You can use double-sided foam tape or glue. I'm going to just use glue here, but I'm going to... If you want it to look a little 3D, you can, and just stack them on top of each other. Like these smaller ones. Just for the edges, you could use smaller ones so they're not kind of hanging off too much. And there's that beautiful, easy flower. So again, you're going to do that with the second page. I've done the same exact scoring, except after you're done, you can run it through your die machine to create, and I've used my kaleidoscope dies for this. Just run it through your die machine before you do all your gluing. So you just tape it on there and run it through. And then you can do the same thing. Just do your folds and your pocket. And you could actually leave this too. If you want to leave it just like one log album, you don't have to do that pocket. But just to make the album the same, I'm going to go ahead and do it again. And it's really hard to choose one of these prints because they're all so gorgeous. So, and then the only difference I did on my back page is I sealed this pocket to make it, instead of another flower flap, I just glued this down and made it a pocket. But of course you do have the option to, you know, do the same thing if you want to do it twice. So that is that, and now I'm just going to go ahead and take that binding and glue it down, and that's my second page. And I just leave a little wiggle room right here, so you see my first page is right here. So I'm just going to like give it a little bit of space, because like I said, if you fill this album up and you see how the flap kind of goes down, you want just a little bit of wiggle room in there so that when they flip through your album, you'll have some leeway there so they can see how pretty that is. So that already fills your album up right there. You could probably even squeeze one more page in there if you really would like to. Okay, so your little pocket right here with the heart, the vellum. That's just going to be a 3 by 4.5 inch piece of vellum, and you don't obviously have to do this part. And then I'm just going to quarter the 4.5 inch, I'm going to score the 4.5 inch side at a 1/4 inch. So just giving it that little bit of flap. I'm so sorry, this black scoreboard is really adding some light in this video. Okay, so I just scored it right there at a 1/4 inch. I'm just going to fold it back. Just like that, just a little fold. And I am simply going to glue that on right there, right at that little score that we just did. You could even do it at a 1/2 inch. It just depends your preference on how long you want your vellum to be. And I'm going to glue it on that page where that little cutout is, so that you have this here. And I'm going to stick a little, I use some of my chipboard stickers. And actually I want this one, this little heart right on there, and it'll give you that little heart there. And this is your album. So now I'm just going to go ahead and decorate really quickly. And this is just so much fun to decorate. I love these stickers. I'm just going to add a little scooter there. And then for here, I had a bunch of little flower cutouts, which I thought was really, really pretty. So I'm going to do that on that corner page. But first I'm just going to add, these are just some random inserts. I'm just going to put that on the top. And I love the way the stickers look with just a little, just a way you can pull it up easier. And it just adds a little bit of interest to your album as well. So again, you could use foam tape here or glue. I'm just gonna leave this unglued so it just hangs open a little bit. And just basically add glue on the stem. Because these are kind of skinny. So I don't want to put the 3D glue on it or the foam glue on it. Add one more. Maybe just right here. And you could also fold them in too if you really want to. You can just like fold your edges. And then also from my kaleidoscope kit, I have added these little tabs here. And those I put on the front cover right here. I just love how it looks. It just adds so much to the album, something so simple. And we've got our flowers here, and then I'm going to add another little tab right here. And this one I'm not going to put on the top because I want you to be able to see it when it's open. So I'm actually just going to put it down just a little bit more than the first tab. And then I'm going to fill this top pocket again. I'm going to add another sticker right here, just to have it stick up. And then you can decorate this as well if you'd like. I had put some little pretty flowers, and I actually used some enamel dots or the my pops. So I'm going to find another like dainty piece right here and just add a little flower on there. And again, I just did the bottom. I didn't do the top because I wanted to kind of hang off just a little bit. Like this, you kind of just left it. It's okay if you get glue because you're just going to put a little flower over it. So I'm going to use this one. I'm going to just put a little heart here for now because I don't want to wet the pages, but you can see I just put that right there. I'm going to add a little flower embellishment just right under here. Of course, you can add pictures on here or whatever you want. And then, of course, your little back pocket. And I had used my stamps here from my last kit. I'm just going to kind of tuck that in. I'm going to add a really pretty, just a flower right here. Just to kind of go with that theme with the flowers on the tab. And I just love it. It looks so good like that. All right, guys, this is the fun album. Do you see how simple it is to make an album? It really looks like it took a long time. We didn't have to do the accordion or anything. It's just really fun ways that you can create these albums without, you know, having so much work. And they're really a lot of fun to make. And you can see there's different options. You can fold it out. You can use these along the way. You could definitely have room for one more page if you'd like. But this is the album, and hope you guys enjoyed it. And let me just add something really quickly here because I forgot to do my cover. You could stamp it, or I'm just gonna add a little butterfly. It doesn't have to be crazy. You could go more all out if you want, but I just love the lettering to this, but I only had one lettering, so. And then you could always put like glitter border just to add some more, or you could also just add some flowers along the way and, you know, kind of do what we did in the album, but put them on the front. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I had so much making this album with you guys, and hope you do too. Thank you.